It was feared Putin might use that day to announce a new escalation in Ukraine. In the end, he did not. Meantime, there are new indications tonight that Putin's all-out assault on eastern Ukraine is faltering. A senior Pentagon official says Russian forces haven't been able to make much progress, and they haven't been able to fix some serious problems that have been plaguing the invasion. They still have command and control issues, logistics problems, poor morale, and some officers are flat out refusing to obey orders and move their troops. Of course, this eastern offensive was supposed to be Putin's chance to turn the thing around. Retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dave Deptula is with us now. He served as Air Force Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Deputy Chief of Staff, and also planned successful air campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan. General, thanks again. Why has Russia failed to gain a military advantage in the skies over Ukraine? And how crucial has that been to Ukraine staying in this attack?
Well, it's extraordinarily crucial, Shep, and it's a question that has been pondering and people have been wondering about for quite a while. I would suggest to you there's a combination of poor leadership, insufficient training, and a conscript military. All of these elements have combined to prevent the Russians from achieving air superiority over Ukraine, which historically is an absolute requirement to be able to achieve victory on the ground. So while Russia put on its World War II Victory Day parade today, their military is looking more vanquished than victorious in Ukraine.
You know, a senior Pentagon official general said today that the Russian offensive in eastern Ukraine has made what he called limited progress. Has Russia squandered an opportunity to get some momentum here?
I don't know if they've squandered the opportunity or if, quite frankly, because of the combination of elements that I just mentioned to you, they just are not prepared to accomplish such a victory. And I would suggest to you that you know, Putin's aspirations are now just not the Donbass region. One of his generals recently allowed it to leak, if you will, that he's looking at all of the southern coast of Ukraine. That's what he'd like to do. He'd like to cut off Ukraine from any water access. And so he'd like to move on Odessa. But frankly, I don't think that they have the capacity. Well, let me put it this way. They have the capacity, but they don't necessarily have the capability to accomplish those objectives right now.
We get all this stuff from unnamed Pentagon officials. Should we believe everything they say? I mean, as one who's old enough to remember times when they didn't, you know, I feel like it's important for us to question if all of these setbacks really are happening. Do you see evidence?
Well, there is evidence. I mean, and I would suggest to you, having been in the military for over 34 years, that the Pentagon is portraying the information that they can. And so they're trying to provide a perspective that is one that's informed by what they're aware of. All of that said, it's important to recognize that, you know, in war, there is no certainty.
Yeah.
Many of the indicators with respect to how poorly the Russians are doing, quite frankly, are the losses that they've incurred. The Russian casualties right now are estimated at over 25,000, and they have lost thousands of pieces of military equipment. As you mentioned earlier, or implied, the Russian Air Force simply cannot roam over Ukraine freely. And so he's facing enormous challenges. And quite frankly, with the reduction in his military capacity and the stalwart efforts on the part of the Ukrainians, Putin needs to find a way to exit.
General Deptula, thank you for your time tonight.